Hello friends, if you're a caregiver of a home or bed-bound client or loved one, this channel is for you. My name is Slava Krinovich, I'm a nurse practitioner and I do house calls. Here I'm creating a community for caregivers where you can get your questions answered, share your tips and ideas of how to better care for home or bed-bound client or loved one, as well as address your personal, emotional and physical needs as a caregiver. The immune system and the gut are tightly connected. About 70% of immune cells live in the gut. These immune cells are a crucial part of the body's defense system, acting as a guardians to filter harmful substances and toxins while working with the gut microbiome to maintain overall health. Probiotics are good bacteria that support the gut health, helping better digestion, less bloating, stronger immunity, and lowering the risk of chronic diseases. You can get them from fermented foods like kefir, yogurt, kimchi. Prebiotics are the food for good bacteria. They're non-digestive fibers that humans cannot break, but they feed and stimulate growth of good bacteria that's already in your gut. You can get them from plant-based foods like fruits, onions, garlic, asparagus, bananas, and whole grains. To make it easier to remember, probiotics are good bugs and prebiotics feeding the good bugs. These two good bugs work as a team, and they're the most studied ones for supporting vaginal microbiome health. While probiotics that are in yogurt have lots of Lactobacillus, these particular strains are usually available only in the supplemental form. They maintain the healthy vaginal acidic pH, which discourages overgrowth of bad bacteria and yeast. Therefore, they prevent growth of bacteria that leads to vaginal bacteriosis, yeast infections, and urinary tract infections. This guy is the most researched one in preventing respiratory infections, supporting gut lining integrity, and it's especially helpful for children and older adults. BB12 shown to increase antibodies production after vaccines, as well as shorten duration of respiratory infections. It also helps with digestive problems. This Lactobacillus strain is found in many fermented dairy products. It boosts the natural killer cell activity, which is important in fighting viruses. This probiotic yeast strain protects from harmful pathogens in the gut. It can reduce the risk of diarrhea after antibiotics or infections, indirectly strengthening the defense systems. Probiotics and prebiotics exist in supplemental form. They are part of the foods. They also added to some foods that we buy from the grocery store. Researchers continue to look for the links between certain gut bacteria and chronic diseases such as depression, diabetes, allergies, and irritable bowel syndrome, and more. Side effects from probiotics and prebiotics are super rare. The most common side effect that people experience is bloating and discomfort. It usually happens because the new bacteria started changing the balance in the gut microbiome and produce gas as they're settling in. Here are some practical ways to ease the bloating feeling. Start low and go slow. If you've been suggested certain dose of probiotic and you start experiencing bloating feeling, then try just half the dose. In about a week or two, after your gut used to the new bacteria population, start adding more and more until you reach that full dose that was recommended in the first place. I would also recommend you to check the strains that you've been taking, because there are certain ones that creating more gas than others. If bloating persists, try to search for these particular strains as they're more gentle on the gut generally. Sometimes taking probiotics with food eases the discomfort. Increasing water intake and movement also helps to release that extra gas that creates discomfort. For majority of the people, bloating eases within a few days to couple weeks once the new microbiome stabilizes. If your probiotic contains prebiotic, that could be the reason. So try plain probiotic as well and see if that helps. If bloating becomes severe, painful, and lasts longer than 2 to 3 weeks, it's time to stop and look for a different strain or different brand. Most adults who do not have chronic conditions do not have to consult with their physician prior to taking probiotics or prebiotics. But there are certain categories of people who absolutely have to consult with their physicians first. These are individuals with weakened immune system, critically ill patients, premature infants, pregnant women, or people with severe histamine sensitivity, or you have any catheters in your body. These consultations are very important because in United States, Food and Drug Administration does not regulate either strains or dosages of probiotics or prebiotics. So the only important and reliable information that you can get is from your physician. If you found this video helpful or you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I will answer to my best ability. Give this video a like, share with the loved one or a friend who might be benefiting from this information. Consider subscribing for more practical tips for caregiving, as I share new videos regularly to help families just like yours. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. And remember, joyful heart is the best medicine. Till next time.